Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Noodle Journey, where I will be reviewing Nissin Raoh Artificial Tonkotsu flavor. Yes, I thought it was high time to go for a Japanese product in our journey, and so I thought I would start with the so-called King of Ramen, which is how Nissin markets this. If you've ever bought cheap ramen in a supermarket, you probably have already heard of Nissin. They make your famous cup noodle and top ramen. You know, the really cheap stuff that you eat when you're like me 2 years ago and don't know that good ramen is also available in stores. Even though I would keep a couple on hand to eat in a pinch back then, I've never really been a fan of either of those product lines, although I do have some supposedly decent cup noodles waiting for me to review. Nissin launched the Raoh product line some time ago to appeal to a more high-end ramen enthusiast, and by high-end I mean that this pack was $2.69 at your local Wegmans, or roughly the same online. So there's 3 flavors of Raoh: miso, soy sauce, and this one, tonkotsu. I will be trying the other 2 at some point, but I do love a good tonkotsu, so I wanted to start here. Real quick, if you don't already know, tonkotsu is just your basic Japanese pork bone broth that you might see at a nice ramen restaurant. This is an artificial version of that, containing no pork products at all, and in fact this is vegetarian if that appeals to you. I'm very curious as to how well this compares to the real thing. Something to note if you're shopping for this: there's 2 versions of the packaging. One that says artificial tonkotsu, like this, and one that says umami tonkotsu. I don't have the one that says umami tonkotsu, but looking at a screenshot of the ingredients online, they seem to be identical, so maybe this was just rebranded, maybe a regional packaging difference. I'm not sure. If anyone has tried the umami version and knows if there's any actual difference, please leave a comment and let me know before I waste time and money trying to find a pack. And one last thing to note before I open this up, because checking sodium is good practice: 2,070 milligrams of sodium in this bad boy. Woof. 90% of your daily allowance. That is hefty. Stay away from this if salt gives you the shakes. Inside we've got a round, non-fried noodle block, a dry powder pouch, and a liquid oil packet. The ingredients tell me that there's ginger flakes and green onion in the dry packet, as well as a medley of powdered ingredients and spices. Let's cook! Boil 2 cups of water, add the noodles, and cook for 4 minutes. We're going to empty the 2 packets into the serving bowl, add the hot water, stir, and then add the noodles and stir again. I'm not sure why I couldn't just dump the noodles and water together and stir, but I am not one to argue with the ramen gods. Anyway, we're ready to eat at this point. As a first impression, this does smell artificial. I don't know that I would necessarily call this smelling like a tonkotsu broth I would expect to eat at a restaurant. When I emptied the oil and powder packet into the bowl, I got a whiff of a yeasty something, and it kinda hasn't gone away. The presentation and the broth look pretty nice. Rich, oily, thick. Let's see how it tastes. The noodles have a pleasant chewiness, not the best I've had, but far from the worst. I'll give them a solid 7 out of 10. Now the broth. Does this compare in any way to real tonkotsu? Well, no, not really. There is a lot of ginger and garlic in here as described on the package. The salt is very apparent. More so than I think any other instant noodle product I've reviewed so far. The only spicy things to report are the ginger and garlic, so this is a 1 out of 10 for spice. Overall, the saltiness is just really prevalent, and that yeasty aftertaste definitely makes it taste overly artificial. This does not taste like tonkotsu. It's not awful, but not great. The noodles are really good, but the broth leaves something to be desired. This is a 5 out of 10 for me. I'm kind of disappointed. I expected a little bit more out of this based on its reputation. As to whether or not I would buy this again, nah, I don't think so. The flavor is just way too off-putting, and honestly I've had better tonkotsu out of a bag before. The broth doesn't do anything for me. Regardless of my feelings on the tonkotsu flavor, this does make me interested in trying the other 2 Raoh varieties, so I will add them to the review queue in the near future. The noodles are really good, and I think them being paired with a proper broth, a better broth, will really make them shine. Have you tried this or any of the other Raoh varieties? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. That's it for this episode, so please like and subscribe if you would like to continue on this noodle journey with me.